Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Alicia. I own a crochet boutique called Awestruck Crochet, and this week I wanted to take you guys along with me while I market prep. I have a market coming up at the end of the month and I really need to set time to market prep. I have already planned what I wanted to make, and so we'll kind of talk about the inventory that I'm hoping to bring and how I am going to calculate this based on what I need to make each day or even for the week, and the total value that I need to make in order to reach these goals. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. My week is super busy this week, and actually I will be vlogging 2 videos this week. So if I wear the same outfit as next week when you see the vlog, it's because I'm vlogging 2 videos within the week. We have market prep going on, but then I also joined Melissa from Melissa Made That and her collaboration with Oak and Marlowe to crochet the Fable collection, and so it's called the Fableathon. So I've set time also this week to participate in this group to help me with market prepping, and I also wanted to take you guys along for that journey, so that is why you'll see me wear the same things next week and next week's vlog. But this week we are focusing on market prep. My week is so busy with custom orders that I really sat down at the end of last week and I had to carve out time for market prep or I wouldn't have anything for market prepping. Currently right now, Etsy orders are shipping out for the week between 13 to 15 items within the week. That is extremely busy, but that's how my weeks are going, like leading up to this. And if I continue to allow myself to only focus on custom orders, I'm not going to have any items for market prep. And even though the last market I didn't sell out of everything, I did sell out of several things like the Whimsy bunnies and the hatching bunnies. I want to make sure that I have time to set aside to make those items, along with just making my booth look full and presentable. So let's look at what sold last year between these 2 markets, and then we will write our list together of what I'm planning to make. If you know, you know. So after every market, I always write down everything about the market. I write down how much cash I collected, how much card I collected, the sales tax, the fees based on square, how much I brought in my till that day, and then what items sold. So for the market that is coming up at the end of the month, we're going to look at this market. This market in particular is a little difficult because it was so slow last year. I've never seen it this slow. Compared to last year, at this market, the year before, I made double the amount in sales. And so it was a little disheartening to see such a low sale opportunity. But come to find out, I think a lot of it had to do with advertisement. There was someone new coming up within the community, and who was taking over the girl who had previously run the show due to drama. And I just heard that the advertisement wasn't up to par as what it's always been in the past. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I am returning to this event in particular because last year I earned the free booth. Really, this market will depend on whether we will do it again or not, just because of last year having low sales, and we'll see what this market looks like. But for last year, I sold 4 hatching chicks, 1 Mabel chicken, 1 Della duck, 2 of the Leggy frogs, I got a custom order for a lazy cat, 1 chubby bunny, 1 of the Itty little bitty bunnies, 1 cow cuddle critter, and 1 possum. And I know in the past that this market in particular is obsessed with the mini possums, so I really need to make sure that I have possums. Someone always comes every year asking, and they almost always sell out. And I think last year I didn't have any time to make any possums, and that 1 possum that sold was what was left over from the previous year. Now, if I go back and look at the previous year's sales and what sold, let me find it. So I have the items that sold for 2024 and the items that sold for this market in 2025. In 2024, we sold hatching chicks. We sold 3 Mabel chickens. We sold 4 strawberry turtles. I kind of forgot about the strawberry turtles. I sold 7 mini bees. I sold 2 of the Itty bunnies from Raven Jade Co. They're the mini bunny snugglers. I also sold a dinosaur snuggler, some Valentine bees, the bitty ducks, that's also from Raven Jade Co., 2 possums. Yeah, so I also took note that the chickens took the largest amount of money. So I really need to make sure that I have hatching chicks at this market because they've sold for me each time and are really popular. So hatching chicks are on my list. They have been a staple for the entire year last year. I originally wanted the hatching chicks to be a seasonal item, but they literally sold out every market that I brought them to, and I just knew that they would be an item that would stay around all year and not just for spring. So now hatching chicks are a staple in the in my market booth. Looking at that, anything bunny, duck, chicken related is probably going to sell at this market because it's around Easter time and that's what was being sold previously. So let's take a look at my calendar. I did jot down some ideas of things that I wanted to make, things that were sold out that I needed to restock. And so I already have my list and we'll just kind of go through. So let me flip the camera around so you can see. Here is the calendar for the month of March. And over here on the side, I listed my market prep, things that I wanted to market prep and get through if I had time, just a general idea of things that I wanted to make. So I have the Whimsy bunny. Because I recently sold out of the 4 Whimsy bunnies, I wanted to be able to offer more. So I added on 2 extra, which I need to restock the Whimsy bunnies and make 2 more. So that's 6 Whimsy bunnies total. Then we have hatching bunnies. I brought 7 at the last market and they sold. I technically had, I sold 6 of them at the last market. One I pulled for Etsy and then the other one I put for the raffle ticket. So I have 8 hatching bunnies again to make. 5 of the mini bees. The Cuddle critters. I want to make 3 more cows. The cows are always a bestseller for me, and so I want to make sure I have enough to offer. 1 duck rattle, 1 chicken rattle, and 1 pig rattle. I already have a mallard rattle, so I don't need to add that. And I almost have a whole set of just farm cuddle critters of regular, so I think that's where I just need the 1 cow because 1 cow sold the last time. Mini possums 4. I really wanted to try the Pretty in Paint flower purse. I think that is so cute and so springy, so we'll see. I wanted to try Oak and Marlowe's Marjorie Goose. It is so cute. Waffles Goose from Lulu and Baby is on my list. Luna the lamb, the Itty Palin horse, the bitty cow, Della duck, regular Della duck, Della duck, baby Della duck, the chunky mallard. I only have 1 left and so he needs some friends, so I put that we would make 3. The Fable bunny, the Fable kitten. I really want to try mini loaf cats. Cats are so popular, but I never have enough time to crochet them. They're always the last minute seller, and so I don't know if we'll get to that or not. And then Leggy frogs. Leggy frogs are popular, but I recently saw that the designer came out with the mini size, and so I would like to try that, especially if it will be an item that we can prep and it'd be like a low budget cost item to offer. I calculated up every single item and how much each item cost, not the amount that it is. So I know that Luna Lamb is $40. So I didn't say +1, I said +40. I know that Itty Palin is also +40. So that was 40, 40, 40, 35, 35. Baby Della is now 35 for me as well, so that was 35 times 3. So I added up the value of these items, which gave me the value inventory of this $1,453, and I divided it by 26 because there was 26 days until the market, which told me that I needed to crochet $56 a day or $392 each week. Now, we have a problem. We have a problem because market prep was supposed to start last week. for this to work out and be on time. Market prep was supposed to start last week and it did not start at all. I did not have enough time. I didn't carve out any time to plan for market because I was so focused on custom orders. And that is exactly what I mean by if I do not carve out this 2-hour time chunk for market prep, I won't have anything for my market if I continue to let it be like this. So no matter what, I have held myself accountable that from 9 to 11 in the morning, we will be crocheting because it's the perfect time where I just have one child. That is more manageable. I feel like I can get things done more when it's just me and Madden here at home while the other kids are at school until we have to get Maddox. And we usually leave the house about 11:10 to go pick up Maddox from his half-day preschool. So that is my carved out time for market prep. It is currently 9:05, so we need to go ahead and get started in order for this to work. Today we are going to be working on the mini bees. They are a low budget item that anyone can purchase no matter what their budget is, and so I really want to make sure that I also have a good amount of low budget items for children to purchase with their own money and things like that. So even though I really enjoy prepping the bigger items, having a good variety of small mini items at a low budget price is really going to be your key for market prepping. So today we're working on the mini bees and then we're going to mix it in with the Whimsy bunny. Since I have 2 hours to market prep each day, I'm really going to split each item up with 1 hour time frame. So I'm only going to spend 1 hour working on the mini bees, and then we're only going to have 1 hour to work on the Whimsy bunny. If we don't get finished with it, I will try to figure out how we can finish those items. It might be like a nightly thing where I just finish them off camera after the kids have gone to bed. But this week is really busy, so honestly, whatever we can get done is better than nothing at all. So that's what I'm going to take for myself, and just remember that this is a fun thing to do and to not take it so hard because I know I'm guilty of it. I am so hard on myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself to create things within a certain amount of time, and then I know I get frustrated when that doesn't work out or I'm still not finished with it. I mean, I was similar to that whenever we were doing the hatching bunnies or the hatching chicks, and I just couldn't believe that the hatching chicks took me all day, and that was because I put a limit on myself of how much I could get done that day. And then when I didn't even touch the rest of what I wanted to make, it really discouraged me. So there's no limit, just only a time frame with some suggested things that I'll be making, and we're going to have a blast. So grab your coffee, grab your drink, grab your snacks, grab your crochet, and let's make some things for our small business. Okay, so for the mini bees, let's grab some colors. We have our traditional black that we'll be using. This is just, I think it's coal. Yeah. It's Rattle Blanket in the color Coal, which is black. For the last market, I tried a new color with my bees. I'm still trying to figure out what is a good color to sell. I have a really pretty pale yellow. It is a yarn bee, like adorable yarn. I think it's actually called Bee Wings. Or Bumblebee, something like that. It's such a pretty yellow, but it is a chenille yarn, and I just do not love the chenille yarn. So that color sells really well for me in bees, but I do not want to keep buying that yarn. And so even though I have some, we're not going to be using it. I've been trying to get through like Rattle Blanket yarn and transitioning into that a little bit better. It's quicker, it doesn't shed, and that's just kind of what I want to do. I was previously using Premier Basic Chenille Brights in the colored mustard. It just did not sell as well as the like light yellow. So I noticed in my stash that I had some of this Rattle Blanket in the color Gold. It's so pretty. I really like this for giraffes, and a lot of people compliment on it. And it is a color closer to an actual bumblebee than mustard. So we're going to be prepping with this. I sold 3 bumblebees at the last market with this color, and it was picked over more than mustard. So we're going to go ahead and make it again. Then today, while I was grabbing my colors, I realized I also have this mystical yarn. This is Rattle Blanket Mystical in the color Sunshine, and it is so close to this that I think it would be kind of cute to offer a variegated yellow I've never done that before. I'm curious to see what it looks like, and I'm also kind of curious to see how well it sells. So I think for our bumblebees, we'll mix these two. We'll do some with this gold and black, and then we will also do some with the sunshine and black. And I'm curious to see the sale difference between the two. So the pattern that we're going to be using is a free pattern on Instagram. It's from Emmy Sue Designs. I'll link it down below for you guys so that you can check it out if it's something that you're interested in. I just used Rattle Blanket and a 6mm hook. When I was using the chenille yarn, I used a 5mm hook. So just your normal hook preference that you usually use when you crochet with that style yarn will be fine. But we're going to go ahead and start. I have on my list that I wanted to make 5 mini bees, and I already have 2 of this color from the last market. So I think I will make 2 more in this color and 3 in this color to give me 5, and then it will have a variety. So I think that is the game plan. I'm going to do it in a batch style where I crochet all the tops and then go through and then transition to black and crochet the stripe and then transition to yellow so that we are all on the same step at the same time. It does move pretty quick with the bumblebees, so I don't think it'll be really hard to get through them. And I definitely think that we can get through 5 within the hour. We may even be able to push it to like 7, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. If we can get more than 5, that's great, but we're just going to use our 1 hour time. And yeah, so I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to crochet, and then I'll check back in with you guys to share the progress of what I was able to accomplish within that 1 hour. Okay, our time is up. I didn't do the full hour. I just set my timer for 50 minutes because I wanted to stay true to the actual time. Vlogging and recording what you're doing definitely takes longer than most would think, especially if you are doing it for your small business. We did not finish bees. Here's where we're at, and we're going to leave it at that. So I think in the video I said that we were going to be doing 3 of these, and I think I forgot that because I ended up only making 2. And I made 3 of this style, like with the gold. And I think that that will be fine because this is a tester color. We're going to see how well this sells. And I think just offering 2 will be fine. It probably isn't going to give me the best statistics of whether this is a good seller in this color or not because there is only 2, but we're just going to try it out and see if people gravitate towards this color. And I'll just take note of that in the market, whether they pick this color up first or if they pick this color up first. But here's where we're at. These 2 don't have the second black color on, but these 3 do. So these 3 are at the step where we will just finish with the solid color and then attach eyes. So they're closer than this, but this is our progress for 50 minutes. We're going to move on to the next. I will put this in the whip bin. We will work on it whenever we can, but at least we were able to start something. Up next is the Whimsy bunny, and I wanted to do a fun color. I've already started the ears. I started them a night previously, sometime last week, where I was just batching ears, and so we have the pink blush. This is Premier Basic Chenille Brights. And we're going to be doing a pink bunny with white little eye patches. I think that would be really sweet. At the last market, I just did neutral colors. And so I'm kind of really feeling like I really wanted a cute little pink bunny. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it because I don't have a lot of time. The longer I chat, the less time we have for market prepping. So with the time, it is currently 10:17 and already I don't have a full hour because I will need to leave by 11:10 to go pick up Maddox. So I'm going to set the timer for not 40 minutes. Let's do 45 minutes. So we're going to see what we get done with in 45 minutes. This pattern is the pattern from Raven Jade Co. It is the Itty Whimsy Bunny. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the arms are done. Let's move on to the legs. Okay guys, here is where we left off with the time. The timer is up. I've already went to go get Maddox from preschool, so we're already back home. So here is where we left off with the bunny. I was able to attach the eyes. I just have a couple more rounds to go. So I do want to go ahead and, even though it's past the 1 hour mark, I do want to finish her head and attach her ears. And then that way when I am like watching my show with Mia sometime this week, we can finish her up by just doing small details when we're like binge watching our favorite shows. Currently we are rewatching Outer Banks and it is so good. I have forgotten how good it was. I remember after we finished Outer Banks how hard it was to pick another show that we were just really absorbed in and really liked, because Outer Banks is so intense and so like adventure driven that anything else just seemed so slow in comparison when we were watching, like trying to find a different show. So it's been really fun to rewatch Outer Banks, and we're super excited for the next season that's coming out. So this little project with shaping the eyes and crocheting her little tail will be perfect for one of those nights when we're just watching one of the shows. I usually crochet anyway, and she either works on homework or she's making bracelets or something else, just kind of calm and relaxing. So that's what I'm thinking for this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish her. I think what took me the longest, I truly do think that I could have gotten her finished within the 45-50 minute time. But because my notes weren't very clear in my pattern, I wrote additional notes of things that I wanted to make sure I constantly use when I make the pattern. And I just could not remember my details, or I couldn't remember my logical thinking behind the note that I had written on my phone for the pattern. And it was just driving me crazy that I couldn't remember the tiny little notes. So most of you know that I size down on my hook, but for this pattern in particular, when I sized down the one size hook for her body, I just felt like her body could be a little bit more, I don't know quite the word, like have more volume in it. And that's kind of what I was looking for. I wanted it to, you know, be able to just like scrunch up and look kind of like a blankie would. You know how like a blanket curls up in your lap and it looks cozy? I wanted the same thing for her body. And when I sized down the hook for her body, I just wasn't getting that look. And she was already tiny already. So I put in my notes to keep the correct hook that the pattern already suggests and not size down. But then it threw me for a loop because her legs, like this part of the leg is attached. And so I truly couldn't remember if I sized down one hook or if I kept the same hook. And I just kept going back and forth about what I should do. And even with the arms, I'm like, did I keep the same arm size? Did I use the same hook for the arm, or did I adjust it? And so I definitely need to go back through my notes and adjust to what we actually did so that I don't have that same problem the next time I am prepping this cute little bunny, and I can just speed through the pattern and it can be done. So I truly do think that that is what threw me off. Also, because I'm working from the skein, I feel like I'm fighting the yarn. I feel like it's constantly getting tangled, and that inevitably will slow you down as well. So I think it's just a mix of things. Not that it's a race, but I truly did want to use my full time for what it was. And fiddling with yarn or not being able to read my notes definitely put a halt on how fast I could crochet and get through these items, especially with the bees. I was truly fighting my whole life with this gold. It kept knotting on the inside. It wouldn't easily pull out. And so that's just my reminder, I guess, that I needed to cake all of my yarn. But I don't like to cake it when the yarn is so big, like in a full skein. But yeah, okay, we're going to be done rambling. Let's finish this little bunny's head, stuff it, and then we got to move on. We got other things to do. We have the Fable-thon to do, and I got into a pattern test, which this is off topic, but I have to show you. Loops to Loveys is coming out with her little mama goose, and I got picked to pattern test. Look how big this is. It is so cute. I just love it so much. So we are at the part where her body is done. She has her little ruffled tail. Like, look at this. And I just love her little feet. It's all no-sew. It's so cute. And she's so big. So here is somewhat of the Itty bunny compared to just her body. And even just like the size. Guys, she's so big. But I just love her. So I put weighted pellets in her, so she's pretty she feels extra thick, extra sturdy. I'm so excited to finish her. I cannot wait. So I put in my notes to take an hour to work on the pattern test each day, and then we have a 2-hour market prep time. We have time to work on the fables, and then we have time to work on custom orders. This feels like the most craziest busy I've ever been. One, I was already busy anyway with custom orders, but then I was talking to my daughter and I was like, well, I joined this group, I joined that group, I got into this test, I got into that test. And Mia looked at me and she was like, Mom, you're already busy. I don't know how you're gonna do all these things. Anyway, so I just thought it was so funny. I did get into the pattern test from Amy at the Maple Knot Crochet. It is so cute. It is a little goose blanket. I am obsessed. I think both the goose blanket and this little mama goose will be literally the cutest pairing ever. And so I'm really excited to work on it. But yeah, we got a lot going on this week. So let's go ahead and finish the bunny, and then I will check back in with you guys. Okay, so here is the bunny. She's not completely done. It feels so weird to show you guys something that's not even fully done, but I did finish her overall. I still need to do the eye shaping and her nose shaping. She still needs her headband, and she'll need a little tail, but I did decide to go ahead and sew up in between her legs because there's a hole there, and tuck in the end from the top of her head. So that is all done. So here is day 1 of market prep. What we started, we didn't get everything finished, but it's a pretty good start. So I will see you guys again tomorrow for day 2 of market prepping for this week. Hey guys, we are back for day 3 of market prep. I actually did not vlog at all for yesterday, which was day 2. I just had too many orders going on and I really needed to focus on those. So I did not market prep, and I did not work on the little fable friends for the Fable-thon. Also, by the end of the night, I must have done something to my thumb because one, I kept popping it because it just felt like there was so much pressure on it, but then it started to really hurt and ache from popping it all the time. And I think also mixed in with crochet, usually my thumb doesn't hurt from crocheting, but I think the mix of just the repetitive motion and then popping my thumb definitely left it very sore. My wrist was fine. It was just this little part. So last night I did get a little compression glove on, and it is the one that has like a little gel thing on the inside so you can freeze it or warm it up. I recently put it in the freezer, but I think I left it in there for too long because it's quite cold. But I plan on using this today when I crochet. So when you see this in the video, don't freak out. It's just I need something to help with my thumbs. I have this little compression glove on, and it has helped so much. I slept with it last night and it's feeling much better. But when I crochet, I'm going to be using this just to continue to make sure everything's going to be fine. But we are going to be market prepping. Instead of the 2-hour time, I'm just going to do a 1-hour prep because I really don't have a ton of time. But I told myself making some things is better than making nothing. And so I'm just going to set my timer for an hour. My goal today is to work on the farm cuddle critters with the rattles. I've gotten questions before, but I use these little rattle inserts. They are these little circles here, and they rattle. I've also gotten questions about how many do I put into the cuddle critter. I usually put 2 or 3 of them inside the cuddle critter. I like to put 2 inside the body and 1 inside the head, but it kind of just depends on how much polyfill there is and everything like that. But most of the time I use 3. And I think it just depends on how loud you want the rattle to be. So that is what we're going to work on. I'm not going to ramble too much because we just need to get some prep done. I'm going to be focusing on the pig. I need to make a new pig rattle. This is burnout blankets in the color pink dust. It's a soft pink. And then I'm going to be making a chicken rattle. I want to use the cream speckled yarn. So pretty in a very neutral color. For the duck, I already have the white duck in the original like mini farm cuddle critter. It has safety eyes, so I want to do a sleepy eye with a white duck. And then I got this mystical yarn. We used it for bees yesterday, but I think a cute little yellow duck would be really sweet with sleepy eyes, so I think we're going to try to do a yellow duck as well. So we got 2 ducks, a chicken, and a pig, and we'll see how much we can get done. I'm only setting myself for an hour. I believe that they take at least 25 minutes. So we're just going to start with the bodies because that's easy and there's nothing else to crochet on. There's no color changes or anything like that. And then we'll see how far we get with adding on like their beaks, and for the pig, the ears. Our timer is started, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be starting with the chicken. I did kind of start this a little bit last night before my thumb started hurting really bad, so we're just going to keep working where we started. Okay, we have the chicken body done. I'm not going to close the end yet. I'll wait till the end. But this took 20 minutes to make, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the duck. I think I'll do the white duck and then the yellow duck, just based on time. I also know that the pig is not my best seller. There are a lot of people that ask for a pig when a pig isn't there. But if the pig is there, Usually they'll pick something else for whatever reason. So just based on time, we're going to crochet the other 2 ducks and leave the pig for last if we have some time. So let's go ahead and start the ducks. Okay, this is where we're at after 1 hour. I think we did pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the little ducks, and then the chicken won't take long as well. So I'm gonna finish these up and then I will check back in with you guys. Okay guys, we got our Cuddle critters done. We have the two little ducks, which I think turned out really cute. I really like the yellow with the orange beak. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a mustard beak or not, but I felt like since this has a mix of like yellow and mustard, that the orange would look really cute with him. And I do think he looks so sweet. So here is the yellow, and then here is the white duck. And then our cute little chicken is all done as well. And I just think that they turned out so cute. And I love that they rattle. So super cute. I know that these are a big seller for me and my small business. So if you don't currently make the Cuddle critters, you definitely need to grab them. The mini size sells the best for me. I make all of them only in the mini size now. And I do like to offer them with safety eyes for just a regular little Cuddle critter. And then the sleepy eye always has a little rattle insert. I'll link the rattle inserts down below for you guys. But yeah, this took me a little bit over an hour. I tried to see if 5 minutes was going to be enough time to work on their eyes and then do the chicken, and it was just a little bit over 5 minutes. So I think probably an hour and 10 minutes for 3 Cuddle critters, which I don't think is that bad. I charged $12 before sales tax at the market for my Cuddle critters, in case you are wondering. But yeah, it feels really nice to be able to finish these and add them to my market inventory. I still need to finish day one's market prep items with the bunny and the bees. So I think I'll probably show you guys that tomorrow, just so that you can still see the final look and what those look like. But yeah, I'm going to sign off for now. I will see you guys tomorrow with some more market prep. Hey guys, we are back for day, I don't know, 4 technically, but really it's day 3 because I wasn't able to crochet anything on day 2. And today we're going to be working on the mini possums. This is one of my favorites and best sellers that I have in my shop, but I always run out of time and never have a chance to really stock them up. But every time I bring them, they almost always sell out. So we're going to take time for this new year and market prep some mini possums. I like to use usually the chenille yarn because it comes out just a little bit smaller than Bernat blanket would come out. And I really liked when Premier offered their Premier Plush. So I have Premier Plush in white. This is, I don't know the colors, so I don't use them all. Cotton Candy. This is just a normal black that I had. It's a Hobby Lobby black in chenille. And this one I think is called Slater. This gray is Parfait Chunky. Parfait Plush. What color is this? Seal. So this is Seal, which I don't know honestly how many mini possums will be able to crochet. I wanted to crochet 4 or 5, but with this amount of yarn, I don't know how much will actually get done. So I may just work up 2 at a time so that I can see how much gray yarn we'll have and what we'll need to do to improvise this. For the possum pattern, I have been using Fink Handmade's pattern. It's really a hedgehog, but I just change it for the possum. You can just change colors. So instead of doing the bobble stitch for the hedgehog, I just do a single crochet stitch to cover that spot, and that way our possum doesn't have like little bumps on him. You can also use the free pattern from Rumble Crochet. I used that for a long time before Fink Handmade came out with this hedgehog pattern that I turned into a possum. But that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using Fink Handmade's hedgehog pattern this time, and I'm just going to do this in batch style. So I'm going to create all of the noses first in white, then we'll go through and add gray and black and do it in a batch style. So grab your hooks, grab your yarn, grab your drink. I have an iced coffee with me this morning, and let's go ahead and start creating. Okay, here's where we're at after 1 hour. We have 2 of the bodies done. We still need to crochet their ears, embroider their nose, and add a little tail in the back. And then we have the third one. I don't know if we'll have enough yarn to do a third one, but my 1 hour timer is up. That's all I set for myself. These guys take about 30 minutes to crochet and make from start to finish. I didn't get them finished within the 1 hour because we started this and this took away time from our hour, which I should have known that I was only going to be able to get 2 of them done in an hour. But I'm going to go ahead and finish these guys. So I will go ahead and add their ears and their nose, and then we'll take the final look. He has 1 friend, and then 2 friends, and then 1 on the way. But there they are. And this is the reality of working with chenille. We have little fuzzies everywhere. But they are so cute. Okay, the little possum is done. I think she turned out so cute. I'll flip the camera around so you can see because she's looking a little washed out like this. But this is a 30-minute pattern. It is the true pattern is a hedgehog, but we color changed it and just did a single stitch up here so that she doesn't have the bobbles like a hedgehog does. And yeah, I like the pattern a lot like this. You do have to improvise for the tail. I just chain 6 and then slip stitch back across the chain. But the ears are my favorite because it's right here with the rumble crochet pattern. It's a good pattern as well, but it just feels like a lot more sewing, because you have to crochet the ears and then sew them on. And I like to just surface crochet them. I also like how chunkier this little possum is and the overall look. So just a preference, but if you are interested in trying out the possums, I'll link the pattern for you guys down below. I charge $16 before sales tax for the little possum, and they sell really well for me. So that is all for this day of market prepping. I will throw this little guy in the whip container. I may have to order more gray. I don't think I have another gray chenille yarn, so I may have to just order some more, which is fine because these are a good seller, and so I know I will definitely use up the yarn. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this day of market prep. I know that we didn't get a ton of things done, especially with only setting my timer for an hour, but I have 2 possums that I normally wouldn't have if I didn't even market prep at all, and I have to give myself that reminder. Small progress is better than no progress, and I'm just excited about these and excited to offer them again at my market, especially this upcoming market. It sells really well at the upcoming market, so we'll see how many more we can get done and if more yarn will come in on time or not. But yeah, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow and we'll do some more market prep. Hey guys, we are back for another day of market prep. Today is actually Saturday. I was not able to market prep yesterday because I went with my son to his first grade field trip, which was so much fun. It was so nice just to have like time to ourselves without all of the other littles. And so we both really enjoyed the day. And then whenever I came back home, I decided to finish up and work on Penny the Porch Goose. I finished her. She's going to be releasing, I think, this weekend. So let me show you her before I tell you guys what I plan on making today for market prep. So here is our Porch Goose. She turned out so cute. She is very big, but look at her bonnet. It is so sweet and so dainty. All of the different textures. I really like how this texture ended up coming out. I really like how this texture came about and this one as well. But she is so sweet. She is so big, so chunky, and I just love her. This would be seriously so sweet in a little nursery. I also was picked to pattern test Amy from the Maple Knot Crochet with her Goose blanket, and I think the two pair of them will be absolutely so sweet. But yeah, she's gonna go to the market, the next upcoming market. We'll see if we have the blanket done by then or not. I honestly have no idea with the way custom orders are going and everything if I'll get it done. The due date's not until beginning of April for the blanket, and by then this next market will pass, but I could probably take it to my first outdoor market at the end of April, which would be really fun. But here is Penny the Porch Goose. She's coming, I think, this weekend, and I just love her. I absolutely love her. I think she's so fun and so cute. And definitely reminds me of like a character from a childhood storybook. So cute, so sweet. So anyway, grab this pattern. You're not going to want to miss her. I did use poly pellets for the inside of her, so she is very heavy and weighted. The neck stands up by itself with the way the pattern is written. I didn't do anything extra but put polyfill in here in her neck, and she's so cute. Here's what her head looks like kind of without the bonnet. Here's kind of what she looks like without her bonnet. So cute. And she comes with so many accessories. The rain boots, the rain jacket, the apron is absolutely precious, along with the bandana that wraps around her neck. And she comes with a bow, all the things, so cute. You'll definitely want to check out this pattern. It's from Chantel at Loops to Levies, so I'll link it down below for you when it becomes available. If it's not available by the time this video comes out, then I'll just link to her Instagram and you can check out her page if you're not already following her, so that you can stay up to date with all her patterns and pattern releases and things that she makes, because she makes so many gorgeous things. But there is Penny. So we finished her on Friday, and then today it's already 5 o'clock today. I have not had time to market prep. I worked on orders this morning. We took the boys to their school event. We did haircuts, which is out of town, and now we're back home. The kids went to the park with Dad. So let's go ahead and market prep. I am supposed to market prep 2 baby Della ducks, and I really just want to do some more small things. I don't have a ton of small things to offer, and I did mention that I wanted to try the baby Leggy frogs. So I have some yarn in front of me. I'll show you the colors. I like to do the Leggy frogs with chenille yarn, but also I just want to get rid of my chenille yarn. So I'm going to try to work through some of my stash. And we'll just see how many we can get done. I think I'll just market prep for an hour, because soon we'll have to do, get ready for dinner when the kids come back. But the Leggy frogs sell really well in this mint color. This is Sweet Snuggles. I think it's Sweet Snuggles Light, because it's not the jumbo size 7, which is just Sweet Snuggles. This is the size 6, which is the light, and I think it's called mint. I can't remember, honestly. I'm not very good with the chenille yarn names because I don't use it that often, but I do have quite a bit of mint left, and I don't know if these are in the same dye lot or not. One has a different texture than the other. I don't know if you can see. Also, it shows up blue on camera, which it's not. It's a true like mint green color. So we have this going for us. And then I pulled some other greens. I have just a little bit left of this green. It's I believe it's Home Slim Chenille. And then I have even smaller green. This one is Parfait Chunky. It is so thin and so tiny. When I first started, I was using only this small, thin Parfait Chunky and Himalaya Dolphin, which are pretty much the same thing. Here's another one. This one's like a blue-gray. And it's also either Parfait Chunky or Himalaya Dolphin. But we have those to work through. And then I pulled this one as well. It's like a turquoise blue, but still kind of like runs in like the blue-green family. So this one is, I believe, also Sweet Snuggles Light. And then I pulled this flower one. It has like little, it has some green in there with yellow flowers, or that's what it's called. I think I got this from Premier. but also now Loops and Thread sells it as well, so I can't remember exactly where I got it. But that was my plan. I just kind of pulled some greens, and then I wanted something a little different for like girly color, so we pulled out this purple. Here's the other green, and I liked how the blue kind of went with this. Let me see if I can stack this up. I liked how the blue, this light blue gray paired with it. And then we also have this color, like this pairs, and then we have our natural, like normal green. So we'll see how many we get done. I have like no set plan of quantity to make. I just want to make something that's also like small, that will move quickly, that's still market prep, that I can get done within an hour. Here is the pattern. It is so cute, so tiny. And it is from Not Jaded Co. So we're going to go ahead and grab the yarn and get started, and I'll set my timer for 1 hour. Okay, so here is the little frog. It is all done. It is so cute and so tiny. I think when I looked at the time, it takes about 10 minutes to make. And so I have 2 of them here in the mint color. I think next I'll work on this purple, and then we're gonna call it a day for market prep. I'll probably work on this behind the scenes because they are so cute, and I think it'd be super fun to have just a basket full of little baby froggies. So let's go ahead and work on the purple one. I'm really excited to see how this turns up with the pattern I'll put together, like with this floral print. We'll see what it looks like. I have a couple other floral prints, but they are yellow. It's a yellow with pink flowers and then a white with blue flowers. And I just wasn't for sure how that would look with little frogs. At least this still has like some green in it. Wow. The fun part of chenille. When you can pull and it just tears. It still has some green in it, so that's why I picked the purple. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we got the little purple one done. He is so cute, or she, but I really like how the purple looks. There she is with her little arms crossed. They take about 14 minutes each. I timed myself and I have a minute left after I set the initial timer for 15 minutes. And that included stuffing, doing the whip stitch down here, and then doing the little mouth embroidery. But here are 3 of them. It's getting late, so I'm going to end the vlog here. I will check back in with you guys tomorrow to show you everything that we made for this week, and hopefully I can continue working on the whips that we didn't finish, like the Whimsy bunny, the bumblebees, and adding a few more of these guys to our market prep, because I think that these would be super cute with a basket full of little baby frogs to offer. But yeah, so I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. Okay, today is the day that we go over the inventory that we made for our market prep week. So let's check out all the things that we crocheted. Here is our basket of things. Let's take a look in and see what we made. Okay, so we made the mini bees and I did get them finished. We did 3 of them in gold and then 2 of them in the variegated mystical yarn. I think he turned out really cute. I actually really like him. So here he is here. And then we have just the gold. I'm curious to know which one of these is your favorite. Is it just like the standard gold color, or do you like the variegated yarn? I think he turned out cute, but I'm curious to see which one you guys lean more towards. So we have 5 bees crocheted. Here are the other 3. And so 5 bees are done. And then we also crocheted the pink bunny. Here is the pink bunny that we crocheted. I decided to use taffy for the nose in this variegated yarn color for her headband, but I think she turned out really sweet and so cute. Originally, I did a light pink like I always do for their nose, but it was really hard to tell with her also being pink. So I decided, after I crocheted the headband, I thought the taffy color would tie in really well. And I do really love her. So she has her little eye patch in her headband and she's so cute. So the bunny is done. Then we crocheted the farm cuddle critters. So 3 of them are done, 2 ducks and a chicken. We crocheted 2 possums. I did not get the 3rd one done at all. So we just have 2 this week. And then we have our 3 little baby leggy frogs. I did not crochet any more last night after dinner. I worked on the whips so we could get those done with the bees and the bunny. And I decided that I would wait another day to crochet more of these cute little leggy frogs, but we have 3 of them. And then what I've been working on off and on throughout the whole week that wasn't really part of the video, but I did share with you, is Penny the Porch Goose. I absolutely love her. I love how chunky and thick and weighted she is, and she is so sweet. I cannot wait to make the blanket that matches. It'll be such a cute little duo. But that is everything that we crocheted this week for market prep. I actually crocheted a little bit more for market prep, but you will see it next week in next week's vlog for the Fable-thon. So we have so many things that we did get to crochet and make. We did send out several orders, but I still have a lot of orders to catch up on. So I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching and market prepping with me. Hopefully you were able to get some market prep done as well. I know all of our spring markets are coming up and it's really exciting. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye guys.